the greatest star. I am by far, but no one knows it. Wait, they're gonna hear a voice, a silver flute. Woo, 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 woo. They'll cheer each toot. Hey, that kid is terrific.
You're nervous. What is the worst thing that could happen?
Well, pretty much nothing.
Right. What just happened is the worst that can happen. The worst that can happen has already happened. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's absolutely no reason for you to be scared because it's already happened. And
It's already happened.
You're still breathing, right?
Yeah.
You're still breathing. And I didn't blow up and say, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, well,
No, yeah, that didn't happen. So it's over. Okay. So when you don't remember what's next, just take a second, remember, and keep going. Okay.
Okay.
What if you were on stage and you didn't remember? You'd have to go.
Yeah.
And then you'd say it, right? But you'd try to stay in character. Because you know what? Your character doesn't always know what to say next. Right?
Yeah.
But sometimes things are just hard. You know, sometimes you just sit there and you just go, I don't even know what to say to you. And then you say it, something, right?
Yes.
So you can always you can always forget your lines as the character. Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yes. You just like him. You got him and you're good. You're Troy Maxon all over again. You can't be nobody but who you are, Corey. That shadow wasn't nothing but you growing into yourself. You can either grow into it or cut it down and make it fit you, but that's all you got to make life with. That's all you got to measure yourself up against. Your daddy wanted you to be everything that he wasn't, but at the same time, he wanted you to be everything that he was. Sometimes when he touched, he bruised, and sometimes when he took me into his arms, he cut.
In all of the world so far, I'm the greatest star.
Okay. Now, you said all the words, but you just said them. But you need to say them for a reason, okay? You need to make Corey change his feelings and his whole attitude. You need to get him to go to the funeral. You need him to forgive his father enough that he can go to the funeral and he can forgive his father. And he is really challenging you. He's saying, what did you ever see in him? Why did you marry him? Why? That's why you're telling him all this personal stuff, or that you looked at him and thought, there's a man I could have a baby with. That's not something you normally tell a child, right?
No.
But he's a grown man and he wants to know, why did you marry him? Okay, so this needs to be an answer. He's complaining to start off with. The whole time I was growing up living in this house, Papa was like a shadow that followed you, trying to live through you. I'm just saying, I've got to find a way to get rid of that shadow, Mama. Now you're listening to him talking about the shadow and the digging in the flesh. You're listening to him going, oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. You're just like your daddy. So can you say that? Just say, oh my Lord,
oh my goodness. You're just like him.
You're just like him. You're Troy Maxon all over again. Listen to you. But say it to me because I'm him, okay?
Okay.
So I'm just saying that shadow was just digging in my flesh. It's like I got to figure out a way to get rid of that shadow, Mama.
You're just like him.
No, I'm not.
You got him and you're good.
Oh, yes, you do. Say, oh, yes, you do.
You got him and you're good.
That's it. Right?
Yes.
You see, you're not just saying the words, you're using the words. And it is a conversation. It is an argument, not just words you're saying.
The greatest star, I am by far.
are just like him. You got him in you good. You are Troy Maxon all over again. You can't be nobody but who you are, Corey. That shadow, it wasn't nothing but you growing into yourself. You can either grow into it or you can cut it down to fit you, but that is all you have to make life with. It's all you have to measure yourself up against the world. Your daddy wanted you to be everything that he wasn't, but at the same time, he wanted you to be everything that he was. And I don't know if he was right or wrong, but I do know he meant to do more good than he did harm. Sometimes when he touched, he bruised, and sometimes when he took me into his arms, he cut. When I first met your daddy, I thought, here is a man I could lay down with and make a baby. That is what I first thought when I seen him. I thought, Rose Lee, here's a man who can fill you up to bursting.
That's why I was born. I blew my horn till someone blows it.
Don't interrupt. I want to be with someone who likes me for the things about myself that I like too. Or for the things they like about me that I didn't even know. Like, am I funny? Maybe someone who thinks I'm really funny. Someone who loves the color of my hair. Like that. When I talk, you don't understand me. I say things and your mind drifts, and I know you're not really smart enough to get me.
I think we can be so much more specific about what your words mean to your character.
Mm-hmm.
And we did go through it pretty much at length last week, but I think maybe we can be more specific with it if we can, just to get you really to understand. The information comes from the words. I mean, there's the givens. We know she wants to break up with her boyfriend because she's met somebody else, right?
Yep.
And now she's got to come up with an excuse to a guy that really is pretty good, which she'll even admit to later, right?
Right.
But she's got to come up with a reason because she wants out of there right at this point. So we have to really look at the words and say, now, what does she really mean by this? If somebody interrupts often, it's a reason to break up with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's make it a reason. What you need to do is make everything that you say a reason to break up with this person, okay?
Yep.
So how would you say it to somebody if you said, this is a reason I'm breaking up with you? Don't interrupt, right? You always interrupt me. Always. This is why I can't be with you anymore. Don't interrupt, right? That you already have to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Don't interrupt. And then what do you say?
I want to be with someone who likes me for the things about myself that I like too.
He goes, I wasn't trying to interrupt you. What's wrong? Now you got to come up with something. I want to be with someone who
likes me for the things about myself that I like too.
He goes, I like lots of things about you. Yes, but I want you to like the things that I like. Okay. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So say, but I want you to like the things that I like.
I want you to like the things that I like.
Make yourself really important. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Don't interrupt. Start there.
Don't interrupt.
Sorry, I don't understand what's wrong.
I want to be with someone who likes me for the things about myself that I like too.
So we can both like me the same, for the same reasons. I want to be with somebody that we can both just sit around and talk about me. That's kind of what you're saying, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then you could say, I like your blonde hair. And I say, I like my blonde hair too. Right? I just want to talk about me.
Yeah.
So do you understand what I'm saying? That we already know that you're pretty self-absorbed.
Right.
And probably a little narcissistic, right?
Yeah.
So I just love myself. And I want someone who can just love me as much as I love me. Okay?
Yeah.
See if you can try to get in her frame of mind.
Looking down, you'll never see me. Try the sky, 'cause that'll be me.
Don't interrupt. I want to be with someone who likes me for the things about myself that I like too. Or for the things they like that I didn't even know. Like, am I funny? Maybe someone who thinks I'm really funny. And someone who loves the color of my hair. Like that. When I talk, you don't understand me. I mean, I say things and your mind drifts, and I know you're not really smart enough to get me. And I'm pretty sure there are great things about me, but if I stay with you, I will never know because I will see myself the way that you see me. I will get stuck there because you're kind of overbearing in your worldview. And I think that you don't really see me. Or you do, but in a blurry way.
I can make them cry. I can make them sigh. Someday they'll climb up on my drama.
Now pay attention, class. We have a lot to go over. Lesson 1. Why parents hate their children. Anyone? You, the little urchin in the front row. Will you share your thoughts with the whole class? No, child. I think your mother reads to you every night in order to stupefy you to sleep, so that she and daddy can sit together for 3 measly minutes without you and your mindless, inexhaustible, unstoppable, repetitive, and nagging demands. He took my toys. She hit my bell. I want a potty. I want a cookie. I want to stay up. I want. Me, mine, now. Can't you understand, child? They tell you stories to shut you up.
Have you guessed yet? Who's the best yet?
Good. That'll all work. That'll all work. And I don't think it's really that hard. Just go, lie? Me? Lie? You know, you just have to go there. Okay.
The thing about this scene is that it's just like completely opposite of what I was practicing before. Like over here, he's trying to limit them. He's trying to take away their stories, take away their imagination. That's completely opposite of the scene that I was doing before.
But he's trying to make them imagine terrible things.
Yeah.
So don't try to think of him taking away their imagination. He's just trying to make them imagine the worst of the worst.
Okay.
So in the beginning, Mati, he's playing the role of teacher. Students, today's lesson, you know, so that you're just trying to be as teachery as you can. Very presentational.
Now, pay attention, class. We have a lot to go over.
So if you're a big teacher in front of a huge class, you're acting like you're in front of a huge class. You actually got 3 children there, right? But pay attention, class. I want quiet. You know, I need to be respected. We have a lot to go over. Okay. So make a big deal out of it.
Pay attention, class. We have a lot to go over. Lesson 1. Why parents hate their children.
You know, you want to make hate mean hate and children mean children, right?
Okay. Lesson 1. Why parents hate their children. Anyone?
Okay, so like you're in front of a big class. Anyone? My mother loves me. How about you? Okay.
Okay. Lesson 1. Why parents hate their children. Anyone? You, the cute little urchin in the front row.
Make fun of her while you're doing it. Okay. Remember, because that's what.
Yeah, he likes making fun of her.
Yes.
Okay. You, the cute little urchin in the front row. Will you share your thoughts with the whole class?
She was kind of talking under her breath. You know how teachers say that. Have you ever had that happen to you? Like, or if you're sneaking a piece of gum and it's like, do you want to share with the whole class? Right? So the purpose is to embarrass, right?
Yeah. You, the cute little urchin in the front row. Will you share your thoughts with the whole class?
So what do you mean by, will you share with everyone? With the whole entire class? Right?
Yeah. Will you share your thoughts with the whole class?
Don't even give her time to talk, right?
Yeah.
With the whole class. My mommy, no, child.
No, child.
So stop her before she can even talk. Okay.
I think your mother reads you every night in order to stupefy you to sleep.
Okay, now let's think about what that means. Okay. She goes, my mommy reads to me. She loves me. No, child. She reads to you. Now correct her. To try to get you to pass out. Right?
No, child. I think your mother reads to you every night in order to stupefy you to sleep. Now, pay attention, class. We have a lot to go over. Lesson 1. Why parents hate their children. Anyone? You, the cute little urchin in the front row. Will you share your thoughts with the whole class? No, child. I think your mother reads to you every night in order to stupefy you to sleep, so that she and Daddy can sit together for 3 measly minutes without you and your mindless, inexhaustible, unstoppable, repetitive, and nagging demands. She took my toys. She hit my bell. I want a party. I want a cookie. I want to stay up. I want, me, mine, now. Can't you understand, child? They tell you stories to shut you up and conk you out.
You know, it's so important to take a class, to be in class. It's so important to have other people to learn from, and it's so important to have a live teacher to tell you, you know, try this way, try this that way. You know, I do think that you did learn from each other. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So why don't we go around and just give you a chance to speak to the other actors and say what you learned from watching them. You want to start, Madeline, since you said absolutely?
Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to be as great at articulating it as I am about like just thinking about it. But Sayla, with your scene, I was really just like trying to absorb the feedback that you were receiving, and like really watching you, like even each class leading up to this, like tonight was so different. And I feel like you might be able to relate to this, like when you have the pressure of it being like a final performance, or like, you know, the live stream or whatever, like that actor thing just starts to come out of your body. And I just really saw that, and I thought that it was really great. I think that, like, similar to me, one of the things that you might have struggled with starting out was really using the body and gestures, and, you know, like using that to bring your words to life. So just seeing that over time was really fantastic. And then Mati, oh my gosh, you just blew me away. I'm so happy that I got to see his final performance, because that was just like absolutely enticing and captivating and incredible. And like, to think that you picked that scene in the second week, and you know how quickly that you've picked up on the vibe of it. And I like that your interest is in these, like, you know, mystical characters, and I just think that that's a really, really good choice for you, and the type of actor you are. And it's just been super cool to watch you work.
That's so nice. I'm so thrilled when I hear those things, because first time Mati's ever acted at all, right? And first time he's ever acted in front of anyone, right, Mati? Selah, do you have something to say to your classmates?
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed watching Monty. Like, I feel like when I first watched him do it, he like, it was good. You know, I'm not saying it was, you know, but like, I liked being able to watch him actually grow and become this character. It was very, very entertaining. Like, to watch the final one and be like, oh man, that's so, like, it was really good. It was just like, you really did encapsulate and become this character, where I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's what, like, you know, it was really good. And then I think with Madeline, watching her become more physical with her character really helped me realize that, like, that is actually all part of it. And like, I'm a visual learner, so watching her learn and then become and use her physicality to like communicate some of the things that she was, you know, thinking, it was really helpful. So that's what I learned.
Much, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, so I want to second what Madeline said, that I had a huge amount of trouble expressing myself, but just watching both Selah and Madeline just help me a lot with being more comfortable being my character, and using movements also to be my character, and using facial expressions and tone. And today, Selah, I saw, for example, like in the beginning, it was very monotonous, but today it was very, like, you're actually like literally talking to someone, and I was very impressed with that. And Madeline, just looking at the screen, I can imagine someone there that you're talking to, because you're just being the character. And also, either last week or 2 weeks ago, I forget, when Madeline, you were talking about practicing your lines, like walking in the streets and stuff. Yeah. And that also helped me just feel more confident about what I'm doing over here. Because when I first started this class, I was always like, anytime someone would ask, I would just say, oh, I'm taking a class. I wouldn't get into it because I was very shy about the concept of going into acting. So now I'm more comfortable wanting to be an actor and more open with what I'm doing.
I'm really excited for you, Mati, because this is something that he's really dreamed about for a long time, and doesn't really have that of opportunity in the lifestyle that he has. So it's a very unusual thing for him to be able to do it. And he even told his grandmother that he was making a Captain Hook costume. So that's huge bravery on your part, isn't it, Mati?
Yep.
I think that's really, really cool, Mati. I mean, like, a really big part of like why I got back into acting, I was kind of like in a slump, and I thought to myself, like, okay, what did I like to do when I was a kid? Because I kind of was on this journey where I trust child me more than I trust adult me a little bit. And so I'm like, let me go back in time and just think, how was I, you know, before life became life? And I just decided, you know, I'm going to go back to acting. I'm going to just like be unapologetically me. I'm not going to be afraid of like nothing anymore, because I don't want to be.
When I did my void monologue at the beginning of the first week, I felt like it kind of good. It was my first time ever performing in front of people, not like recorded or anything, but just in front of like you two. I felt it was pretty good, but I didn't really become the character. But now I was able to. And I feel like watching you two do that helped me a lot with being comfortable with doing that.
Thank you, Mati. I'm glad you're able to describe those things. It's really important to be able to put your feelings into words in real life too, right? Just to be able to express yourself. Madeline when she first started, she goes, I don't know if I can express myself, but it's really important as actors that we're able to express ourselves all the time, right? Because what you can do in real life, you'll be able to do better in your acting life as well. How can you do it as a pretend person if you can't do it as a real person, right? So we all have to work on that, being able to express ourselves in the moment, right? To take our thoughts and turn them into words. And the more you can observe yourself doing that, the more you'll be able to see what you do so that you can do it when you're acting as well. All of you guys look great on screen. You just like there's a charm there. You can all see it in each other, I'm sure, right?
Oh yeah.
That charm. And so I want you to put it to use, because if this is what you want to do, then you should do it, right? And you're all taking some steps forward to being able to do that.
I think for me, one of the other big things was like my confidence level in interacting with human beings. Basically, like I moved to a new state and then COVID happened. So then my interactions with humans just like kind of stopped, except with my family. So like I oftentimes feel like I'm very socially awkward, but like even if I am, I stumble through it and it's okay, and realizing people don't really care all that much. So like being able to like get used to doing these different things in front of people was like really nice and like important for me to learn,
Yeah, everybody is the center of their own universe, and they're not sitting there trying to pick you apart. So you can go ahead and be the center of yours, but also when you show interest in others, when you're able to reach out and tell somebody else that they've helped you, that is going to make a bridge, right?
Yeah.
to bridge the feelings that you have for other people. And even, you start to have feelings for other people that you haven't even spoken to, because you can just see them. As an actor, we observe humans, right? We observe human behavior, and we are, the definition to me of talent is empathy and imagination. And they depend on each other. You can't imagine what it's like to be somebody else without empathy, right?
Yeah.
And you can't have empathy unless you can imagine what it's like to be them, right? So those are really, really important aspects to acting. And of course, they're really important aspects to being a human being.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, I really loved working with all of you, and hats off to all of you and your accomplishment here. It makes me very proud.
You should be proud, Winnie. Thank you so much.
Bet you